And the third historical document that was front of mind when I was reading the excerpts and quotes from Trump's speech on Venezuela today was the Roosevelt Corollary to the Monroe Doctrine. In fact, what happened today and his speech today could go down in history as like the Trump addendum to the Roosevelt Corollary to the Monroe Doctrine. So let's like peel back those layers, go back to US history class and figure out what's going on. The Monroe Doctrine goes back to President James Monroe. I can never remember the exact year, but I want to say 1823. So what's happening right now is that Enlightenment and revolutions and pushes for democracy are sweeping across Latin America. You already had the Haitian Revolution. You had the Mexican Revolution ongoing, Simón Bolívar, Juan de San Martín. All these things are happening. And the European imperial powers are looking at Latin America and deciding if they should get involved or not. And Monroe basically steps up and says, no, stay out. The Western Hemisphere is ours. This is the Monroe Doctrine. It establishes that the United States sees all of the Americas as a key region to its own people's safety and liberty and whatever. And so an attack or an attempt to take control by Europe of any of the parts of Latin America is going to be seen as an attack on us as well. Now, there's one interpretation that's sort of optimistic, that President Monroe was looking to maybe defend these early fledgling kind of democratic movements across Latin America and be sort of the protector of democracy. That's definitely how he's going to frame it. But of course, we know that there's also always the pessimistic interpretation as well, too. That's like, if anyone's going to get involved, it's going to be us. Stay out. You basically, Europeans, can go and conquer and take all of Africa, all of Asia, whatever. The Americas are ours. Then, fast forward a little less than a century later, President Teddy Roosevelt adds the Roosevelt Corollary, saying, I'm going to make one quick amendment to the Monroe Doctrine, and I'm going to say, and I quote, chronic wrongdoing or an impotence which results in a general loosening of the ties of civilized society may, in America as elsewhere, ultimately require intervention by some civilized nation. I don't know, I guess maybe us. And it may force the United States, however reluctantly, in flagrant cases of such wrongdoing or impotence, to the exercise of an international police power. So Roosevelt is adding on, he's saying it's not just about other nations infringing on the sovereignty of a state in the Americas. It's if within that state, they are not running their country the way a, quote, civilized nation should, then I guess we're going to have to step in and like be the international police power that's going to force them to do it. Of course, Roosevelt had his eyes on a lot of potential projects, specifically his dream of building the Panama Canal, in the same way that Trump has visions of kind of Venezuelan oil going to American companies and other natural resources as well. As Trump put it in his speech, quote, under our new national security strategy, American dominance in the Western Hemisphere will never be questioned again.